Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll just start with Kirtan because devotees will be drifting in probably, or maybe drifting out. We'll see what happens. They'll be drifting either way, so whilst they're drifting, we'll absorb ourselves in Kirtan. More chairs are available outside if anyone needs chairs in the restaurant, I guess. Some chairs, the ladies are here also.
Because we need to translate for our students.
Students? Sure. No problem. You stay wherever you're coming. Just bear in mind that door may be action area. That's where you come. Bhagavad Shri usually sits over there. So that face keep it there.
You sit there.
What about these ones? Can they be switched off? These ones here? Because the deities have to have their lights. Pardon?
They do turn on that light when they do the abhisheka. So maybe they were testing.
Oh, I see. Okay. Then it should be okay. Turn the lights off as much as you can. Lights, no, not all of them. We had it just right, and now you've done it. We had it right before, now you're doing something else. I don't know if you can put a sign up there saying, please don't touch the switches, but we need as many lights off as we can, otherwise the screen will be almost... Pardon? Something, but yeah, turn the main ones off, something, but stick to it and don't change it once it's done. Huh? If you want to do that, turn these ones off, turn them all off, especially these ones here. So that's okay. Okay, can you kind of monitor that? Because somebody will come in and turn them all on again in a few minutes, I'll tell you for sure. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda Ram. Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda Ram. Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda Ram. Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda Ram. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. Nityananda Ram ki Jai. Shri Nityananda Trayodasi ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki. Shri Radha Gopinath ki. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki. Shri Gaur Nitai ki. Shri Nityananda Ram ki. Nityananda Trayodasi ki. Go Premanandi. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Shnudaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shmati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Station Sundari Pastachari Shatani. Hare Krishna Prabhus, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Let us Hare Krishna. Today is a most wonderful day on our calendar. Glorious day for our Sankirtan movement. The day when Nityananda Ram appeared in the world to, you could say, break open the floodgates of love of God. Well, we heard a bit about that this morning. We heard a bit about Nityananda Tattva, his divinity. We heard a little bit about his expansions. We heard, what else did we talk about this morning? Huh? Pardon? This morning, you had to be here to know what I talked about. Pardon? Beauty, his beautiful form. Yeah, we heard about that. I should say duty. His beauty. And a few other things we discussed this morning. We didn't touch on his pastimes very much. His mood, his mission was mentioned, but not in detail. Just the principle of his purpose for appearing in this world. So we're not going to go into that this evening, except for when it comes up in the course of a few prayers, which we may recite in it. Well, we'll start now, because basically most of us will be expecting 6 o'clock kickoff, and it's almost 6 o'clock now. So we'll start with a bhajan. This is a beautiful bhajan called Shri Shri Gaur Nityananda Daya. The Mercy of Shri Gaur Nityananda. This is by Lochan Das Thakur. We'll start with this bhajan. 2-beat. You okay with 2-beat? Arvind, you can do 2-beat. We had a very good Maranga player this morning. He's not here tonight. This is about the unlimited mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. They're the most merciful of all the forms of Godhead, because they are giving freely. The process of self-realization, but such a blissful process, is very simple. Whereas other incarnations of God, when they come into this world, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are not incarnations. They are the original personality of God in full. But still they have come within this world. And unlike, not say unlike, but unique, that other forms of the Lord, like Krishna himself even said, Sarva Dharmam Parityagya. But Lord Chaitanya, especially through the agency of Lord Nityananda, has given freely. Simply take it. The mercy is flowing. All we have to do is grab it. Just take it. Should put a slogan, just take it. Take the mercy. And Lord Nityananda is giving it. Put it like this, he's just passing it out to everyone. Take it. On the order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are giving. Whereas Lord Krishna said, surrender unto me and I will protect you, I will deliver you. But Lord Chaitanya is saying, just take it, chant the holy names of Krishna and be delivered. And this is Lord Nityananda particularly as the agent, the personality of Godhead who manifests this mercy of the Lord. So we'll sing this song, this is a beautiful song, but to also, it carries on here, Lord Chandas describes how this process is so very, very easy. Just chant and dance. And by this chanting and dancing, one will attain the ultimate result, the goal of the chanting and dancing, of going back to Godhead. It's too simple to be true, therefore we can't do it. We do it now and again when it's orchestrated, but otherwise we get involved in other things. What to do? This is our misfortune. We're still attached. So Loshan says, Das says, that the only thing we have to do is Vishayacharya Sedrasi Maji. If we want to get that taste for the holy name, we have to be Vishayacharya. We have to be able to give up the desire for sense gratification. Now that's not easy. The desire will be there, but we have to let go and not become a servant of the desires. They may come into the mind. We have to take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. Call for their mercy. In all the three worlds, there is no one as merciful as they are. They delivered even the animals in the forest of Jarakhanda. So Prabhupada says, if they can deliver animals, at least we can try to deliver human beings. Sometimes it sounds easier to deliver the animals. Some human beings are more difficult. What to do? Dui Padapashu, the two-legged animals they're described as. In the jungles of Sydney. Concrete jungle of Sydney. Eh? But we do. By mercy of Srila Prabhupada is now being done. And then, unfortunately, Loshan Das Thakur regrets that he's still attached to sense gratification, therefore he has no taste for the chanting of the holy names, and thus he's a victim, he's being victimized, you could say, a victim of Yamaraj, to remain in this material world, suffering the pangs of birth and death, etc. So we'll sing this song. Parama karuna Paudvijana Nitai Kodachandra Parama karuna Paudvijana Nitai Gaurachandra Sabhavatara Sharashiromani Kevala Anandakala Sabhavatara Sharashiromani Kevala Anandakanda Kevala Anandakanda Kevala Ananda Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sujita Vishwasakori Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sujita Vishwasakori Vishayacharya Serase Majiya Mukhe bolo Hari Hari Vishayacharya Serase Majiya Mukhe bolo Hari Hari Mukhe bolo Hari Hari, Mukhe bolo Hari Hari. Dekore bhai tribhuvan nahe, Hem doyala data. Dekore bhai tribhuvan nahe, Hem doyala. Pashupakhi jure pasana vidure, Shunijara gunagata. Pashupakhi jure pasana vidure, Shunijara gunagata. Shunijara gunagata, Shunijara gunagata. Sangsare majiya, Rohili poriya, Sepade nahilo asha. Sangsare majiya, Rohile poriya, Separe nahilo asha. Apanakarama bunjaye shamana, Koheye lochana dasa. Apanakarama bunjaye shamana, Koheye lochana, Kohoye lochana dasa, Kohoye lochana. Parama karuna, Pahurvijana, Nitai Gora Chandra, Ramakaru. Nitai Gora Chandra, Nitai Gora Chandra, Nitai Gora Chandra, Nitai Gora Chandra. Hare Krishna. The Divine Appearance Day of Sri Nityananda Ram. We have a lot to cover, so we've got to move a little quick. We may do what we can. Hare Krishna. Sri Nityananda Ram ki jai. Samsarara parahai bhaktira sagare, yedu vivese bajuka nitai chandere. Those who wish to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotional service should worship Lord Nityananda. I don't know if we do want to drown in that ocean, though. I'm not so sure. There's no material sense gratification in that ocean. Can we live without material sense gratification? And we probably sentimentally say, yes, yes, let's go. It's a very deep subject, isn't it? We heard this morning. We were hearing Prabhupada, and it was Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, I think. We should pray to Lord Nityananda. By his mercy, we can forget material sense gratification. We can't forget it otherwise. It keeps coming. And we keep getting attracted by it in various ways. Subtle, it's not gross. Subtle sense enjoyment. Different kinds, speculations, sensual indulgence in the mind, all kinds of mundane plans, dreams, lamentations, so on, hankerings. So if you want to drown in that ocean of material existence, don't bother praying to Lord Nityananda. But if we want to drown in the ocean of devotional service, we should worship Lord Nityananda. We'll hear more about that later. Nityananda mahang nomi sarvananda karam param harinama padang devam avaduta shiromanim. I bow down to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Nityananda Prabhu. We heard about his divinity this morning. Who is the awarder of the highest joy of all, the bestower of the holy name and the crest jewel of all Paramahamsa mendicants. That's the topmost renunciates, those who are absorbed in their eternal constitutional position in relationship with Krishna. Of course, his position in relationship with Krishna is complete. Being the first expansion of Krishna, he's the original guru, how to serve Krishna in all the various rasas he manifests it, whatever rasa or relationship it may be. He's the crest jewel. Nityananda avaduta sabate agala Chaitanya radasya preme haila pagala. Sri Nityananda, the wandering mendicant, is the foremost of all the associates of Lord Chaitanya. He is the gateway through which all service must pass. He became mad in the ecstasy of service to Lord Chaitanya. Even Srimati Radhika does not accept the service of anyone unless they have actually pleased Lord Nityananda. Can't go straight. And as we heard this morning, that was the other subject we discussed, was Guru Tattva, how Lord Nityananda is the Adi Guru from Lord Nityananda. All, you could say, anyone who's acting in the role of Guru, unless they're receiving that mercy from Lord Nityananda, cannot act as a Guru. The potential, the ability, or whatever you wish to call it, the potency of the Guru is simply Lord Nityananda working through them. Instrumental. Every devotee receives that mercy if we accept the path that Lord Nityananda has given, and his followers, the pure devotees, the acharyas are given. They're all direct, you could say, manifestations of Lord Nityananda, in the sense that it's his mercy, his potency, which is working through them, through us, if we allow it to. Material desires and material motivations, self-centered motivations, block the flow of that mercy, and it becomes perverted. It may look like the real thing, but it's not. It's based on our own desire to try to see ourselves in the center. So Nityananda mood is that all the time Lord Chaitanya's will is in the center. So he's the gateway. Sometimes we hear there's only one way to the spiritual realm, or even to heaven. Well, it's true. You've got to go through that gateway, the gateway of the pure representative of God. There is no other way of approaching God. Even of approaching the Lord's internal potency, Srimati Radhika. She doesn't give her mercy in the real sense of the term unless one has pleased Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Ram Ki Jai. Nityananda Maham Bande Karne Lambita Moktikam Chaitanya Graja Rupena Pavitri Krita Bhutalam. Salutations to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who has a single pearl suspended from one of his ears, who is the elder brother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and who is the purifier of the world. Pavitram. Pavitri here. Pavitram in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's purifier. Pavitram. There he is. He's got two earrings there, though. One in each ear. I couldn't find one with one ear. Hare Krishna. Nityananda Ram Ki Jai. He serves the Lord in all the five rasas, as friend, servant, parental mood. And as we heard a lot this morning about his opulences, how he is also the expansions, all the expansions of the various forms of Godhead, even the Purusha avatars, the Shaktis, and are coming from Radharani, but all of the Purusha avatars, everyone coming from Lord Balaram, Lord Nityananda and Balaram, are non-different. The jivas also emanate from or under Lord Nityananda, under Lord Balaram, there in his department, you could say. And also the arrangements, the creation, the energies to arrange for the Lord's pastimes, all the facilities, paraphernalia, are all an expansion of Lord Balaram for the pleasure of the Lord. He simply is, you could say, exists for bringing pleasure to the Lord. Nityananda balite hai, Krishna premodaya, olaya sakala anga, ashuganga vaya. Simply by talking of Nityananda Prabhu, one awakens his love for Krishna. Thus all his bodily limbs are agitated by ecstasy, and tears flow from his eyes like the waters of the Ganges. We heard the description this morning by his form, by his just giving association. Everyone becomes attracted, and that attraction automatically purifies the heart and awakens our dormant love for Krishna. So he's come to attract us all. Hridai Pandita Tanuja Kripa Samudra Padmavati Tanaya Tirtha Padaravinda Tum Prema Kalpataro Rati Haravataro Mampahi Pamaram Anatam Ananya Bandham. O son of Padmavati and Hridai Pandit, ocean of grace, whose lotus feet are veritably places of pilgrimage, you are the remover of distress, the desire tree of divine love. I am a vile wretch with no master and no other friend. Please save me. And this is Eka Chakra. Have you been to Eka Chakra? You have to go there. It's a special day, isn't it? It's amazing how Krishna has given you such a wonderful focus. Eka Chakra for and fulfilling the will of Lord Nityananda to spread Lord Chaitanya's mission. Huh? So fortunate. So fortunate, and such a wonderful opportunity in China, or wherever we are in the world, to attain the mercy of Lord Nityananda. We attain that mercy, and we'll hear about that later. How to get that mercy. Praying is one thing, but there's something else as well. So this is Eka Chakra. How many of you have been to Eka Chakra Gram? Not so many, maybe a dozen or so. It's, I guess it's more accessible now, and it's probably a little more developed. When I was there, which was I hadn't been for about 25 years or more. There was no electricity. It was so, you could say, simple compared to what we're used to. But what a wonderful atmosphere. And when the sun goes down, what happens? There's no electricity. Of course, there were no mobiles in those days. No laptops. What to speak of when Nityananda was there. What happens? Sun goes down 6:30. What does everyone do? Yeah, they all come together. A few little temples scattered through the village. They gather there with some lamps, and for hours they have bhajan and prasadam, bhajan and prasadam, until the time comes to take rest. They get up in the morning and they go to work in the fields. They come home early, maybe take lunch, all the time. Such a simple, peaceful environment. Now it may be more developed. ISKCON has a temple there, so perhaps they have electricity now, I don't know. I presume they do. Usually wherever we go, electricity goes along with us, amongst a few other things. Roads and shops and all kinds of wonderful things. That's all right. Brings people to Eka Chakra. Please take a visit. The place of most mercy. In fact, there's maybe a local lore, but when Bhishma was fighting against the Pandavas, and he was so fierce, Arjuna's life was threatened, and Krishna decided to break his promise for the pleasure of Bhishma, to protect his devotee. He made two promises, one to protect his devotee, and one that he would not take part. So he broke the second promise, to protect Arjuna. He got off the chariot and he had Bhishma pierced him with so many arrows. Huh? Krishna was reciprocating these were arrows of love, you know. Sometimes you see an arrow through the heart when you love somebody, isn't it? Pierced with the arrow. Cupid's arrow. They were like Cupid's arrow to Krishna, you know. And he was manifesting blood and all sorts of things for the pleasure of everyone, both atheists and theists. And he got down, picked up the chariot wheel, and he ran towards Bhishma. And of course Bhishma he was in ecstasy. All of his desires were being fulfilled. His Lord was angry and running at him in this wonderful form which he wanted to see. And then of course he surrendered to Krishna, life went on. But Krishna discarded that chariot one. They say it flew through the air and landed at Ekachakra, one chakra. So that's said to be the place of the appearance of Lord Nityananda. That's the local folklore anyway. May be true. That's the samadhi of the birthplace, not samadhi, excuse me, but not the samadhi, the birthplace of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Some mandir there, small mandir. Beautiful. So as we've just heard, he was born in the family of Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, two great devotees. They were quite elderly in age. They had no children. They were feeling somewhat remorseful. They had no children. And then, by the grace of Providence, the grace of the Lord, they gave birth to a divine son, Nityananda. Nityananda was the most beautiful personality. The whole village became overwhelmed in ecstasy upon the appearance of Lord Nityananda. He appeared in approximately 1474, 12 years before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he stayed in Ekachakra for around about 12 years, until the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was born, he let out a tremendous roar in ecstasy, knowing that his Lord, at least in the past time, his Lord has appeared in the world. And shortly after that he left Ekachakra. But whilst he was in Ekachakra, his father, especially Hadai Pandit, could not take his eyes off him. He said his form was just like cream, soft like cream, like butter. Like butter. Imagine embracing butter, which doesn't melt either. It's just soft, you know. It's just he couldn't leave him. It was like death for Hridaya Pandit to leave him for a moment. His eyes were just fixated on his child, because he's the Lord. It wasn't just an infatuation for one's baby, but he's the Supreme Lord. This is an eternal relationship which Hridaya Pandit has with Nityananda, and same with Padmavati. So they were so absorbed as Nityananda grew. He played with his other cowherd boyfriends in the village, various sports, and particularly they liked to perform dramas of Krishna pastimes. And everyone was fascinated by their pastimes. Lord Nityananda would direct the dramas and also participate in the dramas in such a wonderful way. And because he is none other than, Lakshman is an expansion of Lord Nityananda. In Ram Leela, Lord Nityananda appears as Lakshman. So one day they were performing the Ram Leela, and during this Ram Leela, Lakshman was hit by the arrows of Indrajit, and he fell unconscious on the ground as if dead. And before the drama began, he told one of the boys, if this happens in the drama, he should bring some herbs, some flowers, some herbs, and place it before his nose. So the boy forgot. When Nityananda fell down, apparently dead, everyone thought he was practically dead. He was no breathing, nothing was going on, no sign of life at all. A quick emergency, and all the village came running there. What has happened? What has happened? Oh no! Everyone was about, they were just devastated. And then the boy remembered. Somebody remembered. You're supposed to bring some. So he went and brought a lotus flower or something, some flower, and he came and placed it in front of Nityananda's nose, and immediately Nityananda became again conscious and recover. And the pastimes will go on like this. And Hadai Pandit would sometimes say, how is it? And people would say, how is it he knows all these things? We haven't told him. Lord Nityananda replied, these are my pastimes. And they're actually his pastimes. Krishna Leela, Ram Leela, whatever Leela, wherever he expands and there's some pastime, they would perform these dramas and have so much transcendental, ecstatic fun, and everyone be purified and blissful. Whenever he go to the market, Hadai Pandit would take his son with him. He couldn't go without him. He was just, this is Krishna consciousness. Can't live for a moment without Krishna. However, as Providence has its will in Krishna Leela, in Gaura Leela and Nityananda Leela also, and in Ram Leela, Krishna has certain purposes of immersing his devotees in deep Vipalamba Bhav. Deep Vipalamba, and their pastimes then remain in an unmanifested form. But from the external point of view, it appears that they're placed into Vipalamba Bhav, which they are. They're experiencing that. Almost unaware of Krishna's presence, but totally infatuated and absorbed in the presence of Krishna. They say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So Nityananda also performed this pastime when he was about 12 years of age. One sannyasi appeared on the scene. It is often said it was Lakshmipati Tirtha who appeared on the scene. Lakshmipati Tirtha was the official spiritual master of Madhavendra Puri. It's often said it was Lakshmipati Tirtha who came. It's not confirmed by Shastra, but it's often acharyas have mentioned his name. So it said, say it was Lakshmipati Tirtha appeared there in Ekachakradham. And Hadai Pandit was so ecstatic to see this wandering sannyasi appear there, this renunciate, and he served him with all of his heart, as did Nityananda, his young son, served him very lovingly and gave him all facilities. So Hadai Pandit, before the sannyasi left, he said, please ask me, what can I give you? What would you like? I need to give you some charity before you leave. And the sannyasi asked for one thing. He said, I simply want your son. Of course, Hadai Pandit was heartbroken, struck, devastated. He couldn't say no. He couldn't say yes. It was like an impossible situation. But of course, this was all Nityananda's doing. It was time for Nityananda to move. Lord Chaitanya just appeared in Navadvip, Mayapur. And it's time to move. When the time to go comes, we got to go. So, he had no choice. Couldn't break his promise. He had to let his son agree to go, very happily. 12 years old thereabouts. And off they went. They left Ekachakradham. And of course, Ekachakradham became a desert. Hadai Pandit could not maintain his life. Shortly after he left, he fasted until death. Everybody, practically everyone left the village. Nityananda proceeded with a sannyasi all over India, just like he did. Lord Balaram before the battle of Kurukshetra also went on pilgrimage. So following the same principle, Nityananda went on pilgrimage with Lakshmipati. And they travelled all around the various holy places of North India, then through Central and South India, came back up, and they eventually arrived in Pandharpur. Pandharpur, and many of you have been to Pandharpur. Who's been to Pandharpur? Pandharpur, anybody? Lokanath Maharaj disciples, anyone? If you're a Lokanath Maharaj disciple, it's a law, you must go as many times, at least once in your lifetime. It's like Mecca. You have to go at least once in your lifetime. So if you're a disciple of Lokanath Maharaj, you must go at least once, if not more, every year if you've got the money, to Pandharpur, which is very close to Maharaj's birthplace, of course, but that's like his, you could say, his transcendental seat in Pandharpur. Wonderful place of Krishna's pastimes, Vitala. Krishna, and they're on the river Bhima, isn't it? River Bhima, Chandrabhaga, where the river goes around on the river Bhima. Very, very holy place, wonderful place. Nityananda came there, and very special because prior to, this is quite a while later, this is many years after he began his travel. In the meantime, of course, Lord Chaitanya had appeared, but prior to Lord Chaitanya, Vishwarupa had also appeared. And at this time, Vishwarupa had left home also, taken the renounced order. And Vishwarupa had gone to Pandharpur, and there in Pandharpur, Vishwarupa had left this world. And it's said that he actually entered into the form of Lord Nityananda. He's the actual brother of Lord Chaitanya, and so is Nityananda. So the actual brother of Lord Nityananda merged. He expanded to take the role of Vishwarupa, and now he entered back into his actual form as Nityananda. So they became one in that sense again. And whilst he was there, many things happened. But one thing that happened when they were in Pandharpur, here is wandering. Oh, sorry, I didn't press the buttons. The wandering mendicant, Nityananda Mahajan, wandering around all over. One thing happened whilst he was there. Now, this is an interesting picture of Nityananda, and this is describing how he was initiated. He was initiated by Lakshmipati Tirtha, it said. And how he was initiated? Well, it's not an ordinary thing. He actually appeared to Lakshmipati Tirtha in his heart and gave him the mantra which Lakshmipati Tirtha then whispered back into his ear. So he kind of it's like Krishna. All knowledge comes from Krishna, Sandipani Muni. Simply return the knowledge back to him. It's a service that Krishna or Nityananda allows the devotees to render to them. Like that. And also, the same thing. He also was just near Pandharpur. As he left Pandharpur, Lakshmi Tirtha went south, and Nityananda was going north towards Vrindavan. So as Nityananda proceeded towards Vrindavan, they separated ways there at Pandharpur, Lord Nityananda met Madhavendra Puri. And this was the most spiritually emotional experience of meeting. They were swooning in ecstasy on seeing each other. It was like, it's like materially you never get that experience exactly. But when you see somebody you haven't seen for so long, maybe lifetimes, and they're your most intimate associate, somebody who's very dear to you, you just almost faint. Huh? It's just like, in the middle of the forest somewhere. Whew. So that happened by the will of the Lord. He met Madhavendra Puri, they embraced, they were in ecstasy, conversing about Krishna's pastimes. Madhavendra Puri, I don't know if, I probably haven't got the verses here, but Lord Nityananda, in the description of their meeting, in the, I think Bhakti Ratnakar somewhere, the description of their meeting is described maybe in Chaitanya Bhagavat. The description of their meeting is so heart-touching. It's so, it's just amazing. And the description of how they is just so very wonderful, and how Lord Nityananda there accepted Madhavendra Puri as his guru, although he was initiated from description there by Lakshmipati Tirtha. He accepted Madhavendra Puri as his spiritual master, although he's the source also of Madhavendra Puri's, you could say, knowledge, etc. But he accepted him as his preceptor. So oftentimes we see Nityananda as a disciple of Madhavendra Puri and Lakshmipati Tirtha. So then he proceeded on towards Vrindavan Dham, and when he reached Vrindavan he stayed there for some time. And what was he waiting for? He was waiting for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He stayed in Vrindavan performing his pastimes just like he did in Krishna's Leela, Balaram and Krishna, when they were there with many cowherd boys there in Vrindavan. He was playing with many cowherd boys on the banks of the Jamuna, in Ramanreti, in different places, cowherd boy pastimes, waiting for Lord Chaitanya to manifest his Sankirtan pastimes, because particularly Lord Chaitanya's role in Chaitanya Leela was manifold, but specifically, at least in the external aspect, his role was to assist Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inseparably in spreading the Sankirtan movement everywhere. So when Lord Chaitanya had appeared he'd gone travelling, and when Lord Chaitanya then began his Sankirtan movement after being initiated by Ishwara Puri, on his return to Mayapur, Lord Chaitanya began his Sankirtan pastimes in the house of Srivas Thakur, Chandrasekhar and others. Nocturnal kirtans, and then in the daytime they would go out on Harinam Nagar Sankirtan around the villages. So then Nityananda returned to join in with these pastimes. And when they meet, you can read, we have time, the meeting of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, how he was staying in the house of Nandanacharya, and nobody could find him. Everyone was looking. Lord Chaitanya knew that Nityananda had arrived in Navadvip, and he sent his devotees out searching for him, but nobody could find Nityananda, so eventually Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. And when they met, there was such an emotional, such a transcendental union between the two eternal brothers, Krishna and Balaram, when they met there in Mayapur. And then together they began the Sankirtan. Nityananda Gaura Chandra Done Darashan Ihara Shravane Haya Bandhu Vimochan. Anyone who hears about the meeting between Nityananda and Gaura Chandra is freed from material bondage. So I recommend you read it. I think it's in Chaitanya Bhagavat. I think so. That verse is from Chaitanya Bhagavat, so it presumably is. And then the Sankirtan began. The Lord and his associates are all together now. Srivas, Gadadhar, Advaita, Nityananda. The Panchatattva begin to inundate the world with love of Godhead. Nityananda was known as Avaduta also. He would enjoy rather unusual pastimes, such as going in the river and playing with crocodiles, riding crocodiles, and various pastimes which he would perform. Sometimes he would grab bulls and start milking bulls. And sometimes he would go up to girls on the bank of the Ganga and say, "Will you marry me, please?" Young girls, you just go up to any old girl, "Will you marry me?" And he would play all kinds of mischievous tricks and different things for fun, pastimes of the Lord, because they're all his devotees. And they would dance in ecstasy in Sankirtan in Navadvip, in the Sankirtan movement, as they went from village to village around Navadvip, spreading the holy name. Shuno Shuno Nityananda Shuno Haridas Sarvatra Amara Agya Toroho Koroho Prakash Prati Gare Gare Giya Koro Ebiksha Bolo Krishna Bhajo Krishna Koro Krishna Shiksha Iha Baya Arna Boli Ba Bola Iba Dina Avasanyasi Amare Kohiba. From Chaitanya Bhagavat. Listen, Nityananda, listen. Haridas, make my command known everywhere. Go from house to house and beg from all the residents. Please chant Krishna's name, worship Krishna, and teach others to follow Krishna's instructions. Do not speak or cause anyone to speak anything other than this. This was their message. Just a little bit less distractions in those days. Call the police if you try to do that now. Huh? Not to do. People are a little more human at least in that place. So they started here. Haridas and Nityananda, they were a preaching partnership. And Haridas was, he was 24 years older than Nityananda. He's not that old, but he's a bit older. So they were going door to door, marketplace to marketplace, and showing how we can get the mercy, how we can go back to Godhead. And I tried to describe that if we want the mercy of Lord Nityananda, we've got to follow in the footsteps of Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda's footsteps take us to marketplaces. And in the marketplaces you find sometimes there's people who are not so favorable. And sometimes you get arrested. And sometimes you get some problems. People may react. They may try to impede the Sankirtan. And this putting oneself out to try to spread Krishna consciousness is how we get Lord Nityananda's mercy. It's not just about, I want it. We've got to show that we want it. We've got to be willing to follow in his footsteps. His mercy is giving us this opportunity to become instruments in spreading Krishna consciousness. That is the mercy of Lord Nityananda. It's not some magic wand that kind of like descends out of nowhere. It's actually a literal activity which Lord Nityananda showered on the world, the manifestation of Krishna Prema through the Sankirtan movement. This is why the Lords have appeared, to spread the Sankirtan movement, to experience Krishna Prema through the performance of congregational chanting. And thus, the Lord, along with his associates, spread the holy name even to the untouchables, everywhere he went, and spread the holy names. And thus he wove a wreath, like a garland of the holy name and Krishna Prema, with which he garlanded the entire material world. So this is the garland. This Sankirtan movement awakens Krishna Prema. We've got to absorb ourselves in it. It's not like tickling the surface. One has to drown, as we heard earlier on, drown in that ocean of Sankirtan Prema. Drown in that ocean and depend upon Lord Nityananda. We depend upon Lord Nityananda no matter what happens. Lord Nityananda, they would go to some houses sometimes and the people would say, I have no time for this, Hare Krishna, go away. And Lord Nityananda would jump in ecstasy. You've chanted the name of Krishna. He would fall at their feet, grab their feet. Please chant Krishna's name. I will never chant Krishna's name. You've chanted. And then he would run away, dancing, laughing. And some of the people would chase him. He didn't mind. Whatever happened, he was in ecstasy, absorbed in the will of his Lord, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So we follow in the footsteps of Nityananda. Don't be afraid. Krishna will protect. And what is that protection? That protection, Lord Nityananda's protection, will take away. Why are we afraid? We're afraid because we're still attached to material things. We're still identified with the body. We're still forgetting that Lord Nityananda is with us always. He'll take all that away if we take shelter of him. There will be no fear, even if we're in the greatest danger, materially speaking. No fear. That's why Prabhupada was able to spread this movement. That's why we're here today, because he carried that mercy of Lord Nityananda with him. That gateway to Srimati Radharani's mercy. That gateway to Radha Krishna Prema. He carried that with him, always, fearlessly, spreading the holy name every town, everywhere he went, to all kinds of people who had all kinds of objections and behaviors and so on and so forth, against governments who were trying to impede the movement. Whatever it was, Srila Prabhupada took shelter of Lord Nityananda's mercy and constantly spread the holy name in everywhere he was, in any situation he's in. And that's why we're here today. That's how this movement spread. That same mood which the devotees, Srila Prabhupada, his earlier devotees especially, took that on and went to the all far corners of the planet, here to Sydney, also Bali Mardan and Upendra Prabhus came here, and to other countries, Japan and Africa and Europe and South America, even Russia, different places, spreading the holy names of Krishna, even in Iran. And so many places devotees were preaching Krishna consciousness fearlessly. Even in Lebanon, devotees were locked up underground 36 days in a hole under the ground, locked up by the government until Krishna released them. And it was an experience you'll never forget, the dependence on Lord Nityananda's mercy and feeling that mercy, even in the most horrendous, horrific situations. And, so we should understand, this is how we really get Nityananda's mercy. How will we get his mercy so that we can forget material sense gratification, realizing it's just the cause of suffering. Yehi samsparshaja boga dukhi yoni evite. It's the cause of suffering. We think it's the cause of pleasure, but it's the cause of repeated birth and death, the cause of fear, of ignorance, of suffering, of quarrels, of fights, of everything, you name it. It's the causes we're attached to this material sense gratification. In other words, we're on the platform of the false ego, thinking we're the enjoyer. The Lord Nityananda is here to free us from that. And here's a typical example, perhaps the most well-known, famous example of Lord Nityananda's mercy. This is our Well, from the materialistic point of view, you're atypical materialist in Sydney on Saturday night. You're Jagai and Madai, huh? There's millions of them in Sydney on Saturday night, right? Isn't it? Most cities of the world are just full of Jagais and Madais. Drunken, debauchers, indulging in all kinds of foodstuffs and talking all rubbish, even violent sometimes, isn't it? So this is Jagai. Jagai and Madai were born Brahmins, but by bad association they became rogues. Complete rogues, the most roguey people in the district. Biggest rogues in Navadweep. So one day Nityananda and Haridas came to a marketplace and they saw these two characters there. And Haridas, so let's go. Let's get out of here. These two guys are, really suspects. They look like terrorists. Let's get out of here. No, they were pushing people around, and drunk, and gambling, and taking people's money, and all sorts of things. There's not much they wouldn't do. They would kill people. They would rape girls. They would plunder blind people. They would do anything, practically speaking. They didn't directly do one thing. They were fortunate. They never directly offended a Vaishnava. They may have done, but not purposely. They never purposely offended a Vaishnava per se. So they were not directly Vaishnava aparadis, they were just sinners. There's a big difference between a Vaishnava aparadi and a sinner. Sinners can easily be delivered. Vaishnava aparadis, that's another thing altogether. So they were sinners, number one, sinners. So Nityananda said, no, let's go. Let's go and let's have a bit of fun. Let's go and deliver these guys. Come on, Haridas, let's go. Haridas was a little bit weary. So they went towards these two characters who were typical scene in Sydney and Saturday night, And when they approached, they looked at him. Who are you? I'm a dolt, huh? Who are you? Huh? What do you want here? My dear sirs, please chant the name of Krishna. Chant what? Take this! Boom! And, Madai smacked Nityananda on the head with a pot and chased after him. And then Nityananda was, first of all, they chased them away. The first visit, they chased them away. They ran away. Nityananda and Haridas ran. They chased after them, cursing them. So they ran away laughing. And they went back to Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya heard all about it. And then they said, we're going to go back again, we'll deliver these characters. So they went back again. And the next time, Madai said, I told you guys to get out of here. What are you doing again here? Go away. Sometimes you get that on Harinam, right? I told you guys to get out of here. Go away. Sometimes people get like that. So go away. But Nityananda kept appealing, please, my dear sir, whatever you are, please chant the names of Krishna. And he smacked him on the head with a pot. And blood came pouring out. Nityananda didn't do anything. He said, never mind, you hit me, please, I beg you, please chant the holy name of Krishna. And Madai was still angry. But Jagai, and seeing what was going on, he immediately realized, what's happening here? This person, a saintly person, he's not reacted. Why are you hitting him like this? So he went up and protected Nitai. He stopped Madai from hitting him again. But when immediately Lord Chaitanya heard what happened, he appeared on the scene with his Sudarshan ready to slice the heads off of these two characters. And Nityananda protected and held him back as he was about to slice off Madai's head. And of course, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, the two characters got the mercy of Lord Nityananda, and they became great devotees. By Lord Nityananda's mercy, they gave up all of their sinful activities, and they forgot all about their nonsense endeavors, etc. They never forgot about them, but they forgot about trying to perform them, and they became great devotees. So that can happen to anyone by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And there they are again. Oh my word, there's no time left. We're not even a quarter of the way through. What to do? I think we just have to jump over this song. My Lord Nityananda, the jewel of all good qualities, has brought the flood of ecstatic love of God that drowned the entire world. Bringing this overwhelming deluge of prema when he returned from Bengal, from Jagannath Puri, on Lord Chaitanya's order, Nitai inundated the assembly of devotees. The fallen non-devotees did not drown, however, but remained floating on that ecstatic ocean. Lord Nityananda freely offered this exalted prema, which is difficult for Lord Brahma to attain, even to the fallen and wretched souls who had no desire to receive it. I apologize for the spelling mistakes. I just took it directly probably from Bengali translation. I don't know. The ocean of mercy had formerly been tightly sealed, but Nitai cut a channel in its boundary to allow the great flooding waves of nectarian prema to splash from house to house. Lochan Das sings, "Whoever has not worshipped my Nitai or taken advantage of this excellent opportunity offered by him knowingly commits suicide." Oh, don't commit suicide, it's not good. Take advantage of this opportunity. The gates are open, the flood waves are pouring. Just immerse ourselves in that. We'll get swept up in the ocean of Sankirtan Prema. Prem Sankirtan. And join Lord Chaitanya's transcendental ecstatic Sankirtan party, chanting the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas in his 24th year from Keshava Bharati. Nityananda Prabhu was there. They travelled then, after, of course, Nityananda was also externally, he was, in one sense, not in this mood as such. Lord Chaitanya to leave Navadvip and leave all the residents there. He's relishing the highest nectar there with all the residents of Navadvip. But he had another bigger mission because many of the non-devotees were not being immersed in that ocean. They were floating, but they were not in it. So he had to drown them in the ocean. So he took sannyas for that purpose. Nityananda accompanied. They went through Radhadesh for 3 or 4 days. Lord Chaitanya had no idea where he was. He said, "I want to go to Vrindavan. Please take me there." Nityananda had already been. So he was assuming that Nityananda was taking him to Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya was lost count of time. He was totally oblivious, appeared to be. And they were going round in circles, basically. And many days passed, and they were fasting. And when they came to the banks of the river Ganga, Lord Nityananda informed them, "We have now reached Vrindavan. This is the river Yamuna." And so Lord Chaitanya was in ecstasy, and he dived into the river thinking it was the Yamuna. And as he came up, he saw Advaitacharya there in a boat. He said, "What's this? What are you doing here, Advaita? How did you know I was in Vrindavan?" And Advaita said, "My Lord, everywhere, wherever you are, that is Vrindavan." But and Lord Chaitanya became a little bit doubtful. He said, "Nityananda, you cheated me. You told me this was the Yamuna, but this is the Ganga." "No, my Lord, this is actually the Yamuna. Right here where you've taken your bath, the river Yamuna and the river Ganga flow next to each other. And on the western bank where you took your bath, this is actually the river Yamuna." So he hasn't cheated you. But Lord Chaitanya wasn't fully satisfied with the answer, but nonetheless, life goes on. And then, of course, he went to the house of Advaitacharya. Nityananda had sent messages to all the residents of Navadvip to come to the house of Advaitacharya quickly, so they could get Lord Chaitanya's association again. So many days were spent there in ecstasy. After the first few hours were just Advaita and the two lords. And that famous pastime, we told it last week, I won't tell it again, the famous pastime of the lunch in Advaitacharya's house and the wonderful relationship. Lord Nityananda and Advaitacharya had this permanent kind of relationship of fun. They were always fighting with each other, always quarreling, always accusing each other. It was a rasa which they had. That where we've heard, how Advaitacharya last week, combining form of Lord Shiva and Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu and Lord Shiva are expansions of Lord Nityananda. So they have an extremely, I could say, complete, they're almost like one person in different forms. So this is their mood. Fun. The spiritual world is full of unlimited varieties of fun, otherwise you wouldn't have it here. Even apparent drunkenness and fighting and quarreling, all these things are there, but they're totally transcendental and full of bliss. So there's the pastime in the house where the Vedacharya is jumping actually after Nityananda has thrown the rice at him. I have not even eaten half of it. Take it away. I thought I would come to your house to break my fast, but now I say I have to fast again. There's only 5,000 kilos of prasadam or something, whatever it was. Huge amounts of prasadam. And then they left Shantipur, and Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and a few other associates were heading towards Puri on the request of Mother Sachi. On the way they came to the river, I've forgotten the name, who knows the river, I can't remember. But at that river, they stopped. At that river, Lord Chaitanya took a bath. He entrusted his danda, his sannyas danda, to Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda, of course, in his usual playful mood, thought, what is this? This danda, which is the residence of the demigods, is being carried by my Lord. They should be carrying him. Why is he carrying this danda? So he snapped the danda into three and threw it into the river. He didn't think what the consequences would be, but he just did it. And he would just do things. You see, people sometimes do. I won't mention something that happened yesterday, but sometimes people do things impetuously like that. They just rip it up. So he just snapped the danda in three pieces and threw it in the river. When Lord Chaitanya came back and said, where's my danda? And what happened? Where's my danda? And it's a sannyas, he had to have his eka danda. That's another reason is Lord Nityananda didn't like Lord Chaitanya in a sense, carrying an eka danda. Maybe he broke it in three, became three danda, but he threw it in the river. There's no need for his Lord to carry this. He's the Lord of the universe. Anyway, when Lord Chaitanya became a little upset, a little angry, and he said, I am going alone. I'm not going to travel with you guys anymore. I don't know what will happen next. You broke my danda, what will you break next? So off he went. Off he went on his own. And of course then there's a whole pastime of Lord Chaitanya, Sarvabhauma, this, that, the other. But that's kind of another related pastime, but we're not going to get into there. And where's my danda? I don't know. Dandabanga, place where the danda is broken, just near Jagannath Puri, on the bridge of Taranala or whatever it's called. And of course in Jagannath Puri, they did perform many wonderful transcendental pastimes. However, now we're going on to the next one. Lord Rathayatra, wonderful. Lord Nityananda stayed there for some time and with Lord Chaitanya. But then Lord Chaitanya left for South India. Lord Nityananda, he went back to Bengal. And then he came back again. But after some time, so every year there was Rathayatra. Lord Nityananda would come. He'd be one of the chief dancers in the Rathayatra. His dancing is said to be, the most incredible, ecstatic experience. There are certain devotees who are renowned for their singing, their dancing, their cooking. And Lord Chaitanya said, wherever they cook, wherever they dance, wherever they sing, I will always be there. I'm always present there whenever they dance, wherever they cook, and so on. But after a while, Lord Chaitanya, he was in Puri, of course. He wanted to fulfill his mission, and he gave an order to Lord Nityananda. Nityananda gyadila yaha godadeshe anagala prema bhakti kariha pakashe. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu, go to Bengal without restriction. Manifest devotional service to the Lord. Krishna consciousness. So Lord Nityananda did. He went to Bengal with his party of Gopalas. Many of his associates, they were eternal associates in Balaram Leela. They're not jivas. There are two kinds of jivas manifest from Nityananda. One are the eternally conditioned, one are the eternally liberated. The eternally liberated souls are like potencies, direct potencies of Lord Nityananda, who never ever have any thought of being separated from Nityananda or Balaram. And they remain with him all. The conditioned ones, they have the choice, in or out. So they're also coming from Lord Nityananda, and through the eternally liberated ones, the Nitya Siddhas, they attract the attention of the Nitya Baddhas towards also serving in that same consciousness. So he comes with his associates in order to attract others or give others an opportunity to enter into that eternal mood of loving service. So we'll sing one song of how Lord Nityananda would go, and there's so many others, and there's just no time to get through it. With my we'll sing this one, Dalalera Gita. This is a song. Lord Nityananda went to Bengal via. He went, of course, to Raghunath Das Goswami, the famous Panihati festival, I'll just mention that quickly before we start that, and although it's coming up afterwards because time is short. That at the Panihati festival, which commemorates this wonderful pastime of Lord Nityananda coming there and showering his mercy on Raghunath Das. Raghunath Das Goswami, famous, one of the 6 Goswamis, had for years on end been trying to escape from home, from his Govardhan Majumdar, Hiranya Majumdar, their father and uncle's house, and leave home and go to join Lord Chaitanya, but he was unsuccessful. Even Lord Chaitanya told him, don't be a madman, stay at home, behave properly. The time will come. The time came when Nityananda came. And we hear the pastime how Nityananda was there sitting underneath the banyan tree with all of his associates, enjoying themselves on the bank of the Ganga. And Raghunath Das was able to come. He'd been a good boy for some time. He was able to come with some of his men. And he approached there from a distance. And he offered his obeisances to Nityananda from a distance. And then Lord Nityananda said, who is that? Someone said, that's Raghunath Das offering his obeisances from a distance. Lord Nityananda shouted, come here, you thief! Come here! I'm going to punish you. And he came near. Lord Nityananda placed his foot on his head. Now I'm going to punish you. You're a thief. Not just because his uncle and father had been usurping government funds, but the main reason was that Raghunath Das was trying to steal Lord Chaitanya. But Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu, is the property of Lord Nityananda, and nobody can get Lord Chaitanya without Lord Nityananda's permission. So only when you get the permission of Lord Nityananda can we actually get Lord Chaitanya. So he taught that to Raghunath Das. You have to go through the right channel, the right gateway to receive that mercy. So that's why he was a thief. He was trying to take that which didn't belong to him. Only if you get the permission of the actual proprietor, who is Nityananda. So we'll sing this song. Then he's going around the town, spreading the holy names. And again, we don't have time to... What is the time? Oh my, we don't have enough time to sing it. I can't see the clock. There's all kinds of grubby things on the clock. There's no time. What a shame. Oh, what to do? Hare Krishna. Nityananda Ram Ki Jai. Well, we'll sing one verse, okay? No time for the translation. Oh, you've got to have faith. It's all about faith. Faith in Lord Nityananda, and he'll give us the holy name, the pure holy name in the marketplace. He's opened up this Namahata. We have to open up Namahatas. Every village, every town, everywhere there has to be Namahata. And inviting people in, taking it out. The street becomes a Namahata. Tens of thousands of people on the street, that's a Namahata. Wherever the holy name is being shared, that's a Namahata. Everywhere we should go, chanting the holy names, establishing whatever we can, places so that people can connect with Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, and thus make their lives perfect. Boro sukhe kabo gai, boro sukhe kabo gai, boro sukhe kabo gai, boro sukhe kabo. Surabi kunje te namera hatakule che. Surabi kunje te namera hatakule che. Kodanitai, 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 kodanitai. Boro moja kotatai, boro moja kotatai, boro moja kotatai. You have to move in, move in, move in. Boro moja kotatai, boro, move a kotatai. Move forward, move forward, move forward. Shadamule Shudanam Sehati Bikai Shadamule Nam Jata Bhakta Brindabasi Jata Bhakta Brindabasi Adhikari Deke Nam Beche Daro Kashi Jarinam Kinbe Bhai, Jarinam Kinbe Bhai. Amma Sange Chalo Mahajanera Kache Jai. Amma Sange Chalo Mahajanera Kache Jai. Tumikin Be Krishna Nam, Tumikin Be Krishna Nam. Dasturi lo ibo ami purna bekam. Borodoya Nityananda, Borodoya Nityananda. Shadamatra loye dain, Padama Ananda. Ek badikle chaki jal, ek badikle chaki jal. Gora bole nitai dain, sakala sambal. Dain Shuddha Krishna Shiksha, Dain Shuddha Krishna Shiksha. Jati Dana Vidya Bala Nakoreya Peka. Hammani Chari Maya Jal, Hammani Chari Maya Jal. Grihe Tako, Vanitako, Natake Janjal. Aranako Kalirabai, Aranako Kalirabai, Aranako Kalirabai. Achandale Dena Namunitai Dayamoy. Bhakti Vinoda Daki Koi, Bhakti Vinoda Daki Koi, Bhakti Vinoda. Koi Bhakti Vinoda Anita Charana Binarana Ashray Nita Charana Binarana Ashray Nityananda 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 Ram. Oh, Boro Shukka Kabogai, Boro Shukka Kabogai. Surabi Kunjete Namahat Kuleche. Kodanitai, 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 Kodanitai. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. I got a Haribo.